Welcome to Streams of Income with self-help author Ryan Rieger. For the next hour, you'll hear proven methods for how to live the multiple income streams dream. Ryan is passionate about helping others discover their gifts and start their own business. He's published 5 books, and his courses and group coaching programs have changed the lives of thousands of students all over the world. Ryan's books include Private Label, The Easy Way, Finding Your Grace Place, and his latest, Streams of Income. And now, here's your host, Ryan Rieger.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Streams of Income radio show. I'm your host, Ryan Rieger, and in this episode, we have a return guest. It's Jimmy Smith. He was in episode 3, and if you remember, we talked about the Replan Strategy. These are items that you can sell over and over again. And the basis of that is that these provide a solid foundation in your business. So instead of going around looking for clearance items all the time, folks that are using the Replan Strategy, they're walking into a store or going online and essentially just replenishing these items. So it's like walking in with a grocery list or a shopping list, and you know that you can have consistent sales. And then when you find those clearance deals that you find for $5, sell them for $30, that's just the gravy on top. So the people who are in like our Legends group, for example, who are using the Replan Strategy, they're the ones that are able to quit their jobs because they have that steady income coming in every month from these items that are just continually selling. And so I'm super excited to chat with Jimmy again to get an update on things going on in his business. He just wrote a book. He's got some software out now and some super cool things happening in his business since we last chatted with him back in episode 3. And he mentions the Legends group that he really attributes much of his success to, that helped him and Brittany go from $10,000 a month to now, I won't spoil it, but quite a bit more than $100,000 a month, which is incredible to me. But he attributes that to the things he's learned in the Legends group. And so that Legends group, guys, we're doing a trial in that. We want more success stories. I want more people who are able to take an Amazon business and be able to quit their jobs or do whatever it is that you started the business for. So if you're just starting out or you're trying to grow your business, now's the time to jump in. If you just go to streamsofincomeradio.com, this is episode 38. We have a trial for you, $1 for 30 days. A 30-day trial for $1, guys. Get in now. That's streamsofincomeradio.com, episode 38. All right, guys, we got Jimmy Smith back. So excited to have you on, Jimmy. Thanks for coming back on with me, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me back. I'm excited. I always like being on here and talking to you. So thank you.
Oh, well, guys, Jimmy was on episode 3. So it's been quite a while since we chatted on this show. So Jimmy, kind of a lot has happened in the world since we chatted back. I guess that was August.
Oh, wow.
2019, and we're recording this April the 29th, 2020. The world has changed, hasn't it?
Yes, it has quite a bit. And a lot of the change over the last month and a half, really. But
right.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
Totally has. So when your episode people love, because they were, I know some folks were like, oh my gosh, I can't really believe that that's possible. And guys, we're not going to go deep into the whole Replan strategy that we talked about in that episode, but essentially Jimmy and Brittany at that point were selling over $100,000 per month on Amazon. So that was their gross sales figure on Amazon. And Jimmy told me yesterday that it's a little bit more than that now. So Phil, share with us what's going on in your business sales-wise since we last chatted.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously with everything that's happened, with the virus and everything going around, people are shopping more online. And so our business this month will be over 180,000.
Oh my gosh.
And I expect it soon over a 30-day period to be over 200 for a while. So that's pretty exciting. Yeah, it's been pretty cool.
Wow.
Before all of this, we were up at about 125, 130, So our business had still grown from August until, February.
Yeah.
Because of this, it's gone up quite a bit. So
so forget about the coronavirus for a second. Just talk about the jump from 100 to 125 and 130. What did you do that made that happen?
Yes, we actually hired more shoppers. Before, actually in August, we had one main shopper, and then She was working 35 hours a week, and she actually ended up having to, stop doing that because she wanted to spend more time and work with things on our kids and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But so we decided that we couldn't be dependent on just that one shopper anymore. We had to hire multiple. So we hired, I think, 5 other shoppers, and they all work between 5 and 10 hours a week. So that way we can kind of spread the workload around. More people can get more products, and we aren't dependent on one person.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, just to kind of let the cat out of the bag a little bit here, Jimmy and I chatted yesterday about an outsourcing course that we'll probably be doing with our friend Honey Woods. Jimmy just talked to Honey today about that, and she's excited to get going.
Awesome.
So we just need to set up a time to outline that. But guys, outsourcing has been key to their business. And I know that he and Brittany never could have done what they're doing without having people that work for them. I mean, it's just probably not possible, right?
No, not at all. Yeah, and we definitely wouldn't have been able to, do all the other things that we do outside of our business. So, we did just the Replens model and selling on Amazon by ourselves for the longest time, and only got to 25,000. We might have been able to get up to 40, but after that, we would have been capped. So, at this point, being at 180, it's pretty crazy. We also right now are utilizing a prep center. To do some of that stuff for us as well.
Oh, nice. Because I know last time we talked, you had your own prep center that you had people there. So now you've outsourced some of that even?
So we have a prep center down. We actually use Carl, who I believe was on your podcast recently too. So down South Prep, we use him, and he's been great. So we'll have some stuff sent to him. Instead of us doing it, it's just gotten to the point where, we have access to different stores down there. Just as much money, essentially, a little bit more money for us to outsource that. But we don't have the room right now for more products and more people. We need to outsource it some other way.
So you actually have shoppers down near where Carl lives?
No, so we'll place online orders.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah, Carl, if I do need something picked up down there, he's got people to pick it up for me too. So
love it.
Yeah. So
wow.
We're doing, not a ton there. It's probably about 5,000 a month or so, 5 to 10. But yeah, it's still going to help, huge help to add that.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me about your shoppers. Are they just buying those replens that are on a list that you give them? Or are they actually making decisions, looking at the app saying, hey, I'm going to buy this and not buy this?
90% of our shoppers just buy off of a list. They don't make any decisions. We do have one person that's fully trained, and she actually finds new products for us. So we don't do that anymore, really.
Okay.
And then we've got another person that goes through each week and tries to find new products, and we're kind of training her on helping to do that as well. So we've got 2 people doing that, and I believe 5 or 6 that just shop off of a list.
Yeah, guys, that makes a huge difference because, I know you could train lots of everybody to make those decisions, but the decisions that you and Brittany make are based off of now years of knowledge, and so to take that out of your brain and download it to somebody else is kind of a monumental task. So what he's doing now, guys, he's basically, I'm not going to spoil what we talked about in episode 3, and you guys can go back and listen to that about what the Replan strategy is. But essentially they're buying the same things over and over and over again. So it makes it so much easier. These shoppers of his can walk into a store with essentially the same thing as a shopping list or a grocery list and say, I just need 3 of these, 10 of these, 2 of these, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a list. We do it all through Google Sheets, and that's where the shoppers access it. We have a different software for our own managing that and put that list, but they all use Google Sheets, and so they can each see what each other has bought. If they're both shopping at the same time, so it works out perfectly. In that way. So, we're always tweaking things, trying to find different, better ways to do it. But so far, that's been the easiest, and it's free. So
that's awesome. Love free.
Hold the list for us. So
man, very cool. So guys, I kind of didn't really intend to go this deep in the whole outsourcing thing, but just kind of, it's the way these things kind of flow. But I want to get back to the coronavirus and the state of Amazon. But so I imagine, guys, we'll have Jimmy back on again on an episode, maybe even put Honey on too, to talk about the course that we're going to be launching, that dealing with outsourcing. Because what I love about you and Brittany is you guys take things that you are doing, and you have a great way of systematizing it. It's not, it's, you seem like you're a detailed guy, and you do a good job of taking it and making it to where somebody else can plug into that system and run it. And it allows you and Brittany to kind of be more hands off and then focus on some other things that you guys have going on that we'll talk about here in a second.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's luckily for me, I mean, as hard as Brittany and I work, I am pretty lazy. So like I kind of have to be able to outsource, right? Because I don't want to go shop. I don't want to do the prepping and shipping anymore.
Right.
You know, did years of that.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you just start to get old. It starts to get old. You know, I essentially got myself a job of doing that when I wanted to own the business. So, you know, making sure that we can outsource things has been vital. And even now, if we're looking at new business opportunities or different things we can do, 90% of the time we have to think, well, can we ever outsource this? Because if not, then we're stuck, and we have to do it ourselves forever. So we have to look at, is it outsourceable? And, you know, at what kind of cost would it be outsourceable? So yeah, there's a lot of stuff we look at, and it's just been instrumental for us to grow and add streams of income. I think since August, since I talked to you last, I don't know how many streams of income we've added at this point, but you know, from then to now, but at least 10. You know,
you said the other day you were at like 14.
Yeah, and we added a 15th one. I sent you that one.
Yes, that's right.
So we added our own site for one of our private label products, and so that
it's a Shopify site where you're selling stuff off of Amazon. We got
$100 in our first day, so that was pretty cool.
I love it. And you also said something was hilarious. You said some of these are just puddles right now, but there are other income streams. Guys, that's the way it is. I mean, I say that I have like 60. I need to probably go back and look and see how many I really have. When I wrote the book, I said 16 plus. Maybe it's more, maybe actually less, because sometimes streams will die off and you'll either replace them or not replace them. But guys, don't think that, you know, all these 14 or 15 that Jimmy has, that they're, you know, things that are bringing in $100,000 in sales like his Amazon business. It's not usually like that. That would be great.
Right.
But, you know, we're talking things that might even bring $100 a month, but that's still money that, and most of those things are things that he doesn't have to like put his attention on. So a lot of these items are things he gets started and they just consistently bring in money. So
absolutely. No, I totally agree with it. And actually, in August we had the prep center. So we were prepping products for other people, and we just kind of realized it was too much of a headache for us. We had too many other things going on. You know, there were too many things that we'd have to outsource. So we were like, you know what, let's get rid of that. And that's freed up a lot of time for us to add other things. So just like you said, those streams, you know, they come and go. And the numbers, you know, they're great. You know, if somebody says 14, 15, 16, it's almost like, oh, I sold $100,000 in Amazon. There are still things that go into that. You know, what does that mean? You know, how much effort, what kind of profit, that kind of stuff. So, you know, streams of income are vital. And, you know, just, you know, making sure that you're focusing on one at a time is how you'll sort those out. So.
I love it. You said something just a little bit ago that you essentially, when people start an Amazon business, you can, if you don't work on it as a business, if you're working in the business instead of on it, you essentially are creating a job for yourself. Now, guys, there's nothing wrong with that, because if you are in a job that you hate, like a full-time regular job, and you move over to now you're self-employed, that's a great thing. But at some point, Amazon it can end up being, you know, essentially a job if you're trying to do it all yourself. So if you want to branch out into other streams of income, it's vital that you do what Jimmy and Brittany have done, which is outsource most of that Amazon business. You bolt it down. You don't just say, okay, we got that, let's just forget about it, and that just goes away. No, you want to continue having that running. So in order to do that, you have to hire folks or bring in systems and processes. It doesn't necessarily always have to be people. Usually it is. It could be companies or tools or software. But in order to be able to focus on these other things, Jimmy's got some things he's working on that are kind of just passion projects, I would say, things that he's really, and we'll share those at some point probably, things that he really wants to do, but he couldn't have done those a year or two ago because he was knee deep in his Amazon business. Now he's got those systems in place, people in place, that he can focus his attention on these other things, which I love. So love what you're doing.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been fun, and it's been over 2 years now. 2 years and 2 or 3 months since I officially left my job. So,
Cool.
Crazy.
Congratulations, man. So, okay, let's just talk about the whole coronavirus thing and the state of Amazon. Obviously, I know that your sales have increased. You were already on the increase from 100 to 125, 130. Now you just said you're at 185,000 for the month, which is insane.
Yeah.
And I know it's because of the surge with the coronavirus, people having to shop at home. On the other hand, there's folks that we know who this has hurt a little bit because they're not selling the products that, are quote essential.
Right.
What do you think the effect is? It, I guess, let's just talk about Amazon in general. Is this a good time for e-commerce? I mean, obviously it is for you, but what are you talking to other sellers? What are you seeing out there?
Yeah, I mean, I think just in general, is it a good time for e-commerce? Absolutely. I think that this will be look back in 10 years and be like, wow, that was the catalyst that took, retail going from, or, e-commerce retail being like 15-20% up to 40 or 50%.
Right.
Like, I really think this will be that pivotal moment. And getting in as soon as possible is important. In terms of Amazon, there are going to be restrictions, and unfortunately, they throttled some sellers from being able to send in products, which hurt their business. Luckily, because of how Amazon works, there is the opportunity to pivot a little bit, and also to focus on other streams of income. So the good thing, I know I'm kind of jumping around a little bit.
Sorry.
About what we sell with Replens is that, we have so many different products that when Amazon says, oh, you can't send this in anymore, we have, 900 different products that now we can send in. So we have that flexibility, which has been a blessing for us. And, I understand it's difficult for a lot of people. I do think that this year and really moving forward, Amazon and e-commerce in general is just going to continue to grow. I mean, it's just inevitable at this point.
So how many SKUs do you have approximately?
So that's what's been interesting. Actually, we didn't talk about this. So we typically have over 1,000 active SKUs, like active. We've gone through, I think, 4,000 or 5,000 total over our 5 years on Amazon.
Sure.
We typically have over 1,000 active SKUs. With this whole virus, even though our sales are going up so much, we're averaging only around 500 active SKUs.
Wow.
We're selling through so many more that it hasn't hurt. It's still.
So the other 500 you can't send in right now, essentially?
Well, or we sold out, and our shoppers, there are some that can't shop because they have kids and they don't want to, or they're scared to go out. So we've only got 2 shoppers out there shopping instead of our normal 6. So some of it's just we can't get it, or the stores are limiting things. But whenever we can get more products, the ones that we're getting in are selling so fast. It's just it's incredible.
Awesome. So that right there just proves that the inch deep, mile wide strategy is so much better than saying, okay, I want to put all my eggs into this private label and say, because what if your private label was hand sanitizer, for example? You wouldn't probably be able to sell it right now on Amazon anyway. And you'd be like, oh, my business went from 100,000 down to 0 instantaneously. But for you, it didn't, and that's such a blessing. Wow.
What's weird too is our private label products. We've launched a couple in this time, and it's all merchant fulfilled at this point. We're selling more of our private label products, and they are not essential. We can't send them in; they have to be merchant fulfilled. So the traffic on Amazon and e-commerce in general has been pretty crazy. And I think,
let's talk about that for a second. So people might be thinking, what's merchant fulfilled? So guys, there's FBA, where fulfillment by Amazon, which 99% of the time, that's what you guys do, correct?
Yes.
Where they source products from a store or online, and it gets sent to Amazon, and Amazon warehouses it there. An order is placed on it. Amazon takes it from their shelves, puts it in a box, sends it to that customer. So after Jimmy and Brittany or their staff handle it the first time and send it off to Amazon, they don't see it again. Merchant fulfilled is like what you think of, the old eBay model. They go out and buy stuff. They have to store it somewhere on site, either their home. I know you're not doing it in your house, but you at your warehouse or Carl's warehouse, it sits there. And then when an order is placed, somebody has to take it, that's on Jimmy's team or on Carl's staff, take it, put it off into the box and do it. So it's basically Amazon doing it versus you doing it.
Yep.
And typically, guys, most Amazon customers, and most everybody listening to this probably buys on Amazon. You're probably prime customers. You're looking for items that you can get shipped within 2 business days. But with this coronavirus going on, Amazon has reduced what they are allowing to be sent in, what's there, and essentially that means in there other things you can't even buy. And so these merchant fulfilled sellers, now you're basically pivoting to where you're shipping the products out instead of all to Amazon.
Right. Yeah. And still the majority of our products are FBA. We're still having Amazon fulfill them. But yeah, some products we had to do merchant fulfilled, and that's been great for us. Just an extra little thing that we're doing on the side. And Carl's prep centers helped a ton. So just having a prep center in general to be able to do that is awesome, I think.
Yep. You got to pivot during these times, don't you?
Yep, absolutely.
To make it work, to survive. So, but man, that's so cool. I mean, we were talking yesterday. We're like, so sorry that the coronavirus thing has happened. That's not a good thing. But in terms of your Amazon business, it's really helped because people are now forced to shop online more.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot more demand for it. I just think the opportunity now is incredible and moving forward.
Yeah, man. So guys, jump in. Now is the time to do it. Oh, let's just chat real quick about what you think Q4 is, just, because of the numbers you're at now, and everybody's just guessing probably, of course. So I'm not going to hold you to this. What do you imagine? What do you envision for Q4 this year? Don't worry. Don't think about, don't have to tell me a number of what you think you're going to sell in Q4, but do you think it's going to just go back to kind of like normal Q4, or are so many more people now shopping online? They're like, hey, this is kind of cool. Let's maybe stay away from the stores and continue shopping on Amazon.
Yeah, no, I definitely think there's going to be more people shopping on Amazon. My assumption is that it'll probably be similar to this last month. Like there's been so many people that have had to shop on Amazon that it's been a crazy time for sellers. However, with those people, there's now going to be people wanting toys instead of essential products. So it's just pivoting to the products people are going to want. But I think the traffic has increased dramatically. I know it has done the last month and a half. And I think that's the kind of demand that will be in Q4 this year, which is still more than most Q4s.
Yeah.
Most of the
That's
time.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you were talking, would you guess that you were selling 125,000 a month in Q4 last year?
No, we hit like 160-ish, I think, per month. And we did only replens. So, we didn't do any toys. We didn't do anything. We just did replens. And, Q4 has so many more shoppers that our sales naturally went up with it. And so I think if we were to go all out on toys and stuff, I mean, we could break 300,000 a month probably, or at least in November and December. But we just again, Brittany and I prioritize the things that we enjoy doing, and just having that grind has never been what we want to do. So for us, we like to, hey, we'll take the $180,000-$200,000 a month thing, that rises with our replens. But yeah, I mean, we need to look for ways, honestly, to figure out how to get more of those popular products in Q4. We just didn't do it last year. And I don't know if we will or not this year.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. But that would be incredible. Even if it just stays the same, if it just continues to stay the same as it is now for you guys, that would be huge. You'd have the best year you've ever had.
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy to think. And I really do think that the numbers we're seeing now will be around the same the rest of the year. I really do. Yeah. I could be wrong, but I think that people are going to be scared to go out. People are going to like the fact that it shows up on their doorstep in a couple of days that they didn't know before. We'll see, though. We'll see in months.
Yeah, no, it's the way with my parents. I mean, they're not old, but they're older, and they're baby boomers, and they don't shop online a ton, and so now they're kind of forced to. And this makes it to where, folks who are baby boomers who are even older than them are like, I'm having to pivot to online shopping. And so they're going to love it and start doing it more. Right. It's just going to help. So guys, all to say that this is the time. I mean, what's the saying? It's, as far as when's the best time to plant a tree now, or was it 20 years ago? I don't know what they say. But the same thing with Amazon, guys. Now is the time to get in. If you are thinking about doing this, this is the opportunity is here right now. in Q4 we say, anything that's not nailed down will sell. And so Jimmy's seeing that right now in his business, and we're in April. So
Right.
just imagine what it's going to be like in November and December of this year. So
yeah. Well, and honestly, so we haven't talked about this either, but from the Replens model, like if you're getting a whole new generation of people really shopping online, they aren't going to be typing in that UPC, right? They're going to be typing out my Colgate Total toothpaste. And if they see a 2, 3, 4 pack of that toothpaste, they're like, well, I can't go out. I might as well get this multi-pack. So it's actually helping Replan sellers more than other sellers.
Wow.
Kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was an interesting little thing.
Oh, so true.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they're not going to Costco to buy the 4-pack, they'll just go on Amazon and buy that 4-pack.
Exactly. And as a Replan seller, those are the things you look for, right?
Absolutely.
So, and again, that was in episode 3, but yeah.
That's good. That's good. So talking about Replens, you said you have 900 to 1,000 SKUs normally.
Yeah.
How in the heck do you keep track of that? Like, how do you know, like, okay, we just sold 5 of these this month. We need to go buy 5 more. It's easy if you have 5 SKUs to keep track of. When you start to sell it, you can have Amazon alerts, and Amazon will send you emails when you get down to a certain level. But that would be insane to have to set up alerts for 900 different items. And how do you do it?
So yeah, what we used to do was use Google Sheets, and it was pain. It took us a couple of days to run a shopping list. And so what we do now, so actually Carl, who we've talked about a couple of times already, myself and him, we got together and said, hey, this is a problem in both of our businesses, and we needed to create a solution, a software solution to do that. And so we created what's called, we called it the Replan dashboard. And it's cut our time in half for making a list. And we've seen tons of other stories from people that it's just truly helped their businesses as well. So we use that tool, which pulls all the data automatically from Amazon. You don't have to do anything for it. You can upload your inventory, your costs and suppliers from Inventory Lab or Legendary Seller or some other tool if you're using that. And it'll integrate together and then tell you, hey, you need to buy this amount based off of your sales numbers for the last 30 days or 60 days. You can see competition data. So before, we would buy stuff and be like, oh, we didn't realize that there was a competitor $5 below us. Like, we just missed it. And now it alerts you in the software. So it's been pretty
huge.
So yeah, we use that. It's saved us a bunch of time and helped us really make sure that we're consistent with our shopping lists.
Wow. Yeah, it would be a nightmare to try to do that manually. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and whenever we made that software, I think we were averaging probably 500 or 600 SKUs at the time, maybe 700, and we've gone up since then. So it's been a huge help. And I know a lot of wholesale sellers, not just arbitrage like what we do. A lot of wholesale sellers use it, and it makes it really quick. So
guys, that's awesome. Guys, you guys can get that dashboard. I have a coupon code that you can get. Just go to streamsofincomeradio.com. This is episode number 38, and you can go there and look and get that link. So if you're selling on Amazon, especially selling Replans, and you have a lot of SKUs to keep track of, then check out the Replan dashboard. Something else you haven't or this happened since we last talked is you wrote a book.
Yeah.
What's the book about?
It's based off the course. So a lot of the core information is based off of the Replens course that we did together. It actually just launched this past week. I've got it super discounted right now. So that's a lot of fun to see that coming in. I saw that my book was above Russell Brunson's books on some top charts, which has been pretty cool.
That's cool.
So yeah, that's been fun. But it's called Side Hustle to Full-Time Income.
Okay.
And so that's pretty much the description, right? It started as a side hustle for us, something that we did on the side while I was working, and then moved to our full-time income. So it's been a lot of fun. And then the subtitle is From 0 to 100,000 per month with retail and online arbitrage, which was the name of our course. So it's been cool. It's been awesome too to see all the reviews coming through. We've got, I think, over 26 5-star reviews in 2 days or something like that, 3 days. So, and there's a paperback. So right now it's on Kindle. Right now it's $1.99, super discounted, and paperback's $14.99.
Love it.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. None of that would have happened without, your help with the course and your ideas. So I really appreciate everything.
My pleasure. I love seeing opportunity and, helping people create new streams of income. So it's fun that you took that on yourself and did it.
Yeah.
Cool. So, I know when we say that number, still even 100,000. It's like, people are like, oh my gosh, it just tilt in my mind. Like, there's no way I can get there. 185. That's just insane. Guys, I know there's people out there doing tens of millions of dollars on Amazon. There's like some huge companies, and we know with sellers, or we've heard of sellers selling, 8-figure numbers on Amazon. But most people who Jimmy and I know aren't at that level. They're making a few hundred to several thousand a month, and anywhere in between. And so you look at that number they're doing, and you start to think, oh my gosh, that's just incredible. How do they do that? And I know you talk about your story. So encourage the people who are starting out, or the person who is at, making a couple $100 a month and that want to do more. Like, how would you help them? What advice would you have for somebody either starting out or, kind of just at the beginning of their journey?
Yeah. So obviously I do want to let you know, we all start at zero. So
that's right.
We did start at zero. And for about a year and a half, we didn't get above 10,000 a month until we joined Legends, the Amazon Legends group. So that was a huge help for us. And that was really, when I look back, the catalyst for growing our business, right? That was the point where everything turned around. But yeah, so, I actually spend the first half of that book, and even almost the first half of the course, talking about really 0 to 10,000, the mindset behind it and everything. So you really need to have the right mindset going into it, that, hey, this first, section of your business, this first growing period, you're going to have growing pains. You're going to be learning what's working, what's not working. So having that right mindset behind everything, that I'm going out and I'm learning, I'm taking the time to learn what works and what doesn't, is really what helped us get through it, because we knew, long term, once we get the hang of this, it's going to be easy. And it is for us now, and that's just how it goes. The more time you put into it, the more you're going to learn, and the better your success will be moving forward. So that's my advice. The other piece of advice is, if you are starting out and you're trying to do arbitrage, I would focus on replenishable products, reverse searching in your Amazon seller app. And all of that is in episode 3 that we did. But that would be the second piece, is just using, different titles, the title of the product, to look up different listings on Amazon. So those are the two main things: having the right mindset and focusing on replenishable products. Because, just this time alone, or any other national type emergency, if anything ever happens again, hopefully not, but they will focus on essential products. And Amazon's told you that. Now everybody knows. So having that as a base is extremely important.
Love it. Yes. And you mentioned Legends, and guys, we're actually going to run a crazy trial, $1 for 30 days.
Oh, wow.
So just go to streamsofincomeradio.com. Again, episode 38, there'll be a link there. Jimmy, we just want to get, we see your success, and we want more success stories like you. And guys, it's not about the numbers, because I'll be honest with you, and Jimmy, he's heard me say this, I have absolutely zero desire to have the Amazon business that he and Brittany have, because I know what it takes to get there. I see their business, and I don't want a warehouse with employees. And that's totally fine. I'm happy where I'm at in my Amazon business. I'm happy because it's allowed me then to pivot and focus on things that I really love, which is helping people create multiple streams of income. If I had his business as is, I might be able to do it, but I could not have grown that team and been able to focus on what I'm doing now. So don't look at his numbers and think, oh my gosh, I'll never get there. Well, maybe you never want to get there. We have so many more people who just want to make it to where they can quit their job. And that's going to be different for everybody. So don't look at their numbers and get discouraged and say, I'll never get there. And because you totally can if you want to. You just may not want that type of business. It's because it comes with, a lot of effort. It's a lot of hard work, and it has its own unique challenges that a smaller business does not have. And so, like you said, you guys were capped out at, you were 25,000 was your plateau for you and Brittany by yourselves, but you probably could have done 40.
Yeah.
in a month. Guys, that's a serious business. Let's talk about that just for a second. What is a profit? So for people who are thinking about selling on Amazon, $10,000 to $40,000, that means nothing as gross sales, because you could be selling items and making a penny each, and it means essentially no profit. A typical Amazon seller, what would you expect their profit to be at $10,000 a month and then at $40,000 a month?
So before we outsourced employees, we were very consistently between 30 to 35% profit margin.
So guys, on a $10,000 per month, you're talking about $3,000 to $3,500 in profit back into their pocket every month. Now, I imagine some of that you invest back into the business to help it grow, but you're profiting that much. And then at 40,000, could you say about the same thing probably would be?
Most likely, I mean, if you're doing it by yourself, most likely, maybe a little less, maybe like 28%, you know, but, you know, as long as you're sourcing the right products, and that's the caveat, you know, we averaged over 100% ROI when it was just us. And now we average, even with what we're doing, we average 70% ROI.
Wow.
So focusing on those right products, taking the time to find the right products, you know, is hugely important for those numbers. But I do think, up to 40,000, you can make 25 to 35% profit margins if you're sourcing properly.
Absolutely. So you're talking about 12 grand in profit if it's at 30%. 12 grand in profit a month.
Yeah. And so what we do now, it fluctuates, right? Because if we have a huge inventory buy for something, it's going to drop. But we typically average around 15%. So anywhere, it's usually about 12 to 16% or so. Depending on the month.
Yeah, Jimmy, I don't know too many people that would, you know, look at, you know, 3,000 to 12,000 a month in profit and be like, that's not enough for me. You know, most people are happy there. So guys, just so you know, you don't have to be making 185,000 in sales per month to have a serious business that allows you to quit your job and essentially live your dreams. And we have people that are just get into this, want to make a few $100 extra, and they're happy there. And that's great. We're thrilled for them. That's a success story for us. You don't have to be making 100,000 a month in sales to be what's considered a success story. It's you know, there's everywhere in between, and we're thrilled at all of them because these are people that are able to create income from something they do online, and that's what we teach.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool, Jim. Any other advice, or anything else you want to say to the folks?
I mean, we've kind of already touched on a lot of it, right? So the main thing is if you want to get started as soon as possible. And, you know, have that right mindset that it's going to take a little bit of time, but in the end, the payout and the payoff is going to be worth it. Especially if you don't like your job. You know, I've been there and I had to come back home and work on it after work, you know, but that's just the work you have to put in to make something work. Keep saying work, but that's the work you have to put in to make it pay off, essentially. So you can quit your job. So it does take some time and a little bit of grinding, but you know, worth it in the end. So.
It is. Well, Jimmy, thanks again for being on with me. Super. I've said this before. Super proud of you guys, and just thrilled that you decided to come back and talk about what you're doing.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. It's a lot of fun. So
anytime. We'll have you back.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Thanks.
You've been listening to Streams of Income with self-help author Ryan Rieger. From right here in the Dallas Metroplex, Ryan teaches several entrepreneurial courses and group coaching programs to students all over the world. Be sure to listen next week at the same time for Streams of Income with Ryan Rieger.